Hello. Welcome back yet again to another edition of the Bibs Corner podcast. Man, it has been some time. Not really, I guess. Black Panther just came out a couple weeks ago, but again, I keep telling y'all I'm gonna be more regular, and then I'm not as regular as I plan to be. But that's okay. I'm here today to talk to you guys about the new movies this weekend. 3 movies in particular that I want to talk about today. What I'm planning to do here, housekeeping. What I'm planning to do here is every week, probably on Thursday, I'm going to do a quick little episode to talk about the movies that are coming out that weekend or the shows that are coming out that weekend. I hope that I keep saying I'm going to do things and then not doing them. So I hope that I can be regular with this. I plan to be regular with this. I need to be regular with this. You guys have been supporting the show, as evidenced by my Spotify rap numbers. I'm actually surprised at how well this podcast is doing. I just need to get more regular with it. So for those of you who do listen when I post an episode, thank you. And again, I'm hoping to get more regular. I've actually been getting a pretty good bit of attention from distributors as well. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for anybody that reaches out to me with a comment about this. So again, my goal is to have something to review every weekend. Try to record those on Sundays, put them out on Mondays. I'll also try to, again, have the weekly for the weekend, get ready. This is what's coming out this weekend. This is what came out this week, blah, 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 blah. If I watch something, you might get a little bit of a review. If I didn't watch it, I'll just give you my opinion and why maybe you should check it out or maybe you shouldn't check it out. I don't know. It depends on the situation. And today's the first time we're going to try this out. So let's get into it with no further ado. The first movie on today's list is called Hunt. It is a limited theatrical release. It is actually going to be on video on demand. So Amazon Prime, Apple, places like that, you can rent this movie. It is the directorial debut of Lee Jung Jae. And if you don't recognize that name, you'll definitely recognize that man if you watched Squid Game. If you watch Squid Game, then you know that Lee Jung Jae, or Lee Jung Jae, I should say, as the main character from Squid Game. And I won't spoil Squid Game, but he was the main character from Squid Game. So this is his directorial debut. Again, it's called Hunt. Written by Jo Sung-hee, and it also is starring Lee Jung Jae as the main character. So, what is Hunt about? The synopsis, I'll read through it real quick, and then I will give you a little bit of a review. I was able to get a screener for this movie, so I did watch it. I was going to do a bigger review, but as time has caught up with me, I'm just going to do a quick one. So, synopsis. After a high-ranking North Korean official requests asylum, KCIA Foreign Unit Chief Park Pyong-ho, played by Lee Jung Jae, and Domestic Unit Chief Kim Jong-do, Jung Woo-sung plays that character, are tasked with uncovering a North Korean spy known as Dong Lim, who is deeply embedded within their agency. When the spy begins leaking top-secret intel that could jeopardize national security, the 2 units are each assigned to investigate each other. In this tense situation where if they cannot find the mole, they may be accused themselves, Pyong-ho and Jung-do slowly start to uncover the truth. In the end, they must deal with an unthinkable plot to assassinate the South Korean president. Okay, that's a lot of words. So, long story short, Lee Jung Jae, our main character, and the second lead are leaders of 2 different government security agencies. So Lee Jung Jae's character is the head of the Korean CIA, and Kim Jong-do is the lead of the domestic unit. Basically, kind of like the Secret Service, I guess, if you want to kind of put a American spin on it. And they're both trying to figure out who this spy is that's leaking information that's jeopardizing national security. During the course of the movie, people become suspicious of both, that the mole could be coming from either one of their departments. So they have to investigate each other's departments. At one point in the movie, things start to come out, and it's really, really, really intense. So this movie is set in the 1980s. That is important to know. That's one way to avoid having to deal with cell phones and things of that nature. It is in Korean. Korean films, Korean shows are really taking over right now. So it is in Korean. It does have subtitles. Now, as far as this movie goes, I'm going to compare it maybe to a movie like The Manchurian Candidate or other political spy thrillers. It is incredibly action-packed. So if you're an action nerd like myself, definitely I can't think of a slow moment in this movie. Even in the speaking moments, the dialogue moments, you're wondering if somebody's about to die in this scene. Like, it's that kind of action movie. It's the type of movie where you'll be introduced to a character, you'll think that character is incredibly important, and they'll be dead within 5 minutes. Or you'll have characters that you're introduced to and you think this person's definitely gonna live, and they die halfway through the movie, etc. and so forth. Like, nobody is safe in this movie. The bodies are dropping left and right. There's multiple tactical plans that have to be executed. We're gonna go to this location, find this person, team of people, one person in this place, one person in that place, chase them, all that good stuff. Like, there are multiple scenes and situations where people have to go into, spy mode, if you will. I overall will say that I was entertained by this movie. I was definitely entertained. Like I said, very action-packed. But I will also say I had a little bit of trouble keeping up with all the moving parts at different times. Like, I had to pause for a second and be like, all right, this person works with this person works with that person, to like remind myself who was who. And I don't want to say, because it's fast-paced, because there are subtitles, that could have been a factor. I'm not even gonna lie, that having to read and look at the screen while trying to keep a lot of moving parts together may have been a factor in my, I don't want to say enjoyment, but my like struggle to keep up with what was happening. And again, there is a lot. It is a tricky movie to pay attention to, because like, there's one point, for example, where a character ends up having to kill another character, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought y'all were like family or something. Like, I was very perplexed and confused, but it all works itself out in the end. It's very clear by the end what has occurred and why it got confusing in the middle. I don't want to say I was disappointed by the end. I was definitely shocked by the end. Like, it did not go how I expected at all. Definitely a fun movie, and again, an interesting directorial debut. I could definitely see Lee Jung Jae doing more action movies in the future. Let's move forward. The second movie on our watch list for the weekend is Violent Night. This is a theatrical release starring David Arbor and John Leguizamo. I never know how to pronounce his name exactly. Directed by Tommy Wirkola, written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller. Fun fact, Pat Casey and Josh Miller are a writing team, and they also wrote the recent Sonic movie. So if you like those, That's probably going to be the writing style that you're going to see in this one. What is the synopsis for Violent Night? When a group of mercenaries attack the estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step in to save the day and Christmas. You know I don't watch trailers if you've ever listened to one of these podcasts, so I maybe saw 10 seconds of the trailer. I saw David. That was all I needed to see. It's David in a Santa costume. It's an action movie. I'm ready to check it out. I pay 50 cents to see movies. That's easy for me. I'm going to see this movie. And I'm actually recording this at 1 a.m. on December 4th. I will be in the theater in 11 hours watching this movie. And I may do a review with Reese. Stay tuned for that. This movie features a ton of characters from Christmas lore, apparently. As I mentioned, Arbor plays Santa. Leguizamo plays Scrooge. I looked at the cast list kind of briefly. I didn't want to spoil anything, but there's a character that's named Frosty, so I have to assume Frosty the Snowman shows up. Someone playing Krampus and more characters. I think a Sugar Plum was in there. I expect this to be a lot of fun. And again, it's action-packed. I'm sure it's going to be weird. I don't know. There's a bad way to end this and a good way. It better end on a laugh. That's what I'll say. Arbor is funny. There's nothing I've seen him in recently that I didn't like. Stranger Things, Black Widow. He's always entertaining on the screen, and I'm definitely showing up to support this one. I really don't have a ton else to say. Like I said, I don't watch trailers, but I will be checking this movie out. All right, finally, the last thing that I have on my list for this weekend. Yeah, we'll make this the last thing. The last thing I have on my list for this weekend is Senior. Senior is a Netflix documentary. It is coming from the director of Tiger King and the Netflix Fyre Fest documentary, Chris Smith. Senior is a documentary about the life of Robert Downey Jr.'s father. Obviously, Robert Downey Sr. Let me read through the description. Follow the tender but appropriately irreverent account of the life and career of Robert Downey Sr., the fearless and visionary American director who set the standard for countercultural comedy in the 1960s and 70s. Okay, so again, this is a documentary about Robert Downey Sr. It is coming from the guy who directed Tiger King. So when I hear those two things, I expect there to be a lot of humor. Again, they say tender, so I expect there to be some very deeply emotional stuff. I expect Robert Downey Jr. to be very raw and real in this. I really don't have a ton of knowledge about Robert Downey Sr. I really don't have a ton of knowledge about Robert Downey Jr. He's just an actor, as far as I'm concerned. He's just the guy that played Iron Man, as far as I'm concerned. But I know his name and his father's legacy are important to culture, to film. So definitely probably worth checking out. I'm not even gonna confirm that I'm gonna watch this necessarily, but it is something that is on my radar. Should be interesting. I'll maybe wait to see if people talk about it. It just came out this weekend, so I'm waiting to see if there's people talking about it. You know, this is a great documentary. I haven't watched a ton of documentaries this year. I usually go out of my way to watch documentaries, and usually I watch a lot of crime documentaries. I think that when I picked up listening to podcasts, it has eaten into my TV and film watching. I've been trying to figure out, I'm like, man, I haven't watched a ton of movies these past few years. And I'm thinking, like, I'm listening to a ton of podcasts right now, 45 minutes, hour at a time. And I believe that's where all of my TV movie watching time has gone. So, long story short, I may need to cut back on the podcast if I want to pick back up on the movies. But we'll see. And that's really it. I'm 15 minutes in here. I like that size. I'll be back next week to talk about, I believe I have 3 movies written down, and I may cheat and sneak in a show as well that doesn't come out next weekend, but it comes out early than the following week before I'd be doing the next one. So, like I said, I'm going to try to do these every Thursday night. I know this is late, but I'm going to try to do these every Thursday night going forward, or Wednesday, depending on what the Mavs are doing. I don't want to double up my recordings, but try to do these pretty regularly. Just kind of, we'll see how it goes. I need to be putting out more content on this channel. You may see the name and or logo change. Don't be alarmed. But I wanna work on the branding here. I don't know how I'm gonna go about that yet. I may move the "Have You Seen" title, which I used 2021 for my movie reviews. I may move the "Have You Seen" title over to the Bibs Corner Pod and see if I can bring those episodes over. But that's really it for me, man. Again, thank you all for tapping in with me. I appreciate all the support. It's been a fun ride, and I hope it continues to be so. Until next time, peace.